Hello, welcome. I'm Marina Orms, the founder of Astrology Heals at astrologyheals.com. I'm super excited to be chatting with you again today because we are in our countdown to 2020 video series, and this is video 6. We're heading toward an important alignment of Saturn and Pluto on January 12th of 2020. We're also heading toward several important astrological alignments that are going to be taking place throughout 2020. So as of the release of this video, Saturn and Pluto are now 2 degrees and just over 30 minutes, 2 degrees 33 minutes, so about 2.5 degrees apart. So they're moving closer and closer until they will meet on January 12th of 2020. And this is a significant alignment that happens, about a little over every 3 decades. And so it depends on the cycle and where the planets are in their own elliptical orbit. So it takes, the amount of time that it takes varies a little bit. But the last Saturn-Pluto conjunction that we had was in the early 1980s. And that was also a time, if you're old enough to recall, it was a time when things felt really hard and challenging, and we were dealing with the beginning awareness of the AIDS epidemic. We were dealing with some financial realities and political financial systems that were very concerning, and that for many of us felt frightening and scary. And so we were feeling that squeeze, that pressure of what it feels like when you don't have control, when you may not have a future, when you're really feeling that pressure to do something and to try to improve the situations and circumstances of your life, but also in this case, really for humanity. And that's kind of the same situation we're in now. We're finding ourselves with really feeling and experiencing our limitations, which is a hallmark of Capricorn and Saturn energy. Pluto, the planet of transformation, has been in this sign of Capricorn, of systems and structures and how we function and how we operate. All of our systems, and from healthcare systems to political systems to financial systems, anything that has a structure or an institution, that is what is being transformed. And we're finding that the old ways of being and doing are not going to work anymore, and we're feeling that need to create and work hard and put in our own effort to create something new. So that is what this alignment is about. And if you watch my previous videos, I've been talking about some of the details of these alignments. So the planets involved being Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter especially. Of course, all of the planets in astrology are involved all the time, but these are the ones involved in the alignments of 2020. And I've been talking about their energies over this past the past few videos I've recorded. So if you missed those, you'll want to go check them out. They are available on the Astrology Heals Facebook page. They are also available on my Astrology Heals YouTube channel. If you go to the Facebook page, you'll want to just search for Astrology Heals, and you'll find my Facebook page, and then click on videos, and all the videos are there. And if you want to get an email reminder, an email with all the links to as each one is released, go ahead and go to astrologyheals.com and fill in your name and email to receive my newsletter, and you'll get those all of the links to all of the videos. So you won't want to miss anything, because this is truly not just an exciting time, it's in many ways a frightening time, but it's also a really powerful time. And it's a time when it's so important that we take responsibility, that we choose what it is we want to create, and that we take responsibility for doing the things in our own individual lives that we need to do. And for some of us, that's going to mean having more of a public impact or being more involved in collective change processes, whether that's activism or politics, or whether you're working for an institution and changing from within. It's whatever we all as individuals are called to do to participate in this larger change. And next week, I have some really exciting information for you, because we're going to be talking about a part of your chart that will help you understand your own personal healing process and what's going to help you move forward and step into what it is that you are here to do. So you'll want to stay tuned and watch for that. But today, our theme is the Saturn-Pluto cycle itself. And this cycle, as I mentioned, is just a little bit over 3 decades from conjunction to conjunction. So think about the hands of a clock. It's like when the minute and the hour hand are together, and then they go around, and then the minute hand comes back and joins with the hour hand again. And that's what happens with Saturn and Pluto. Saturn continues to move around in its orbit until it comes back around to Pluto again. And because Saturn takes about 28 years to go from the same point back to the same point again, and Pluto is moving a little bit while it does that. It just takes a little bit over 3 decades for them to join again in the sky. And as I mentioned, the last time that they met together was in the early 80s. And so if you're interested in that, I have a really fantastic blog post up, astrologyheals.com/blog, and it's called Annihilation or Transformation. You'll learn all about the comparison between the Saturn-Pluto conjunction of our era, the 2020 era, compared with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction of the early 1980s. Another interesting factoid is that the last time Saturn and Pluto were, it takes them over 30 years to come back together, but the last time they made this conjunction, this meeting together in Capricorn, was in 1517, 1518. And so going back to the reign of Henry VIII and the beginning of the Protestant Reformation, so that's all really interesting too, that we're really in a time period of significant change. And the way that our teacher Saturn, and Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn, the way that it encourages us to take responsibility for being and doing the changes that we need to implement, is that it helps us feel the need to do that by feeling our limitations. And so we feel the experience of our limitations of, if we keep going where we're headed, this is not going to end well. We need to take the wheel. We need to steer the ship. We need to decide on purpose where we want to go. And when I was talking about Jupiter in my recent video, we want to know where that goal is. Where are we headed? We want to know what direction we're pointing in and what we're aiming for, because otherwise we're just going to be putting in a lot of work and a lot of effort without really knowing where we're heading. So a sense of purpose, that goal setting, and Jupiter is now in Capricorn. So Jupiter brings in that energy of the archer, of helping remind us of the bigger picture and why we're here and what it is we're aiming for, where we want to go. And then Saturn and Pluto are helping us do this profound transformation. And you see some of the darkness coming up into the light to be seen. And it's not that the darkness hasn't been there. It's more that it's being seen for what it is, much more now. And so while that is alarming and can feel overwhelming at times, and we do need to take care of ourselves, we also have this profound opportunity to put in the effort and the work to work toward the goals that are important to us and create on purpose the outcomes that are truly important to us. and to think long term. Capricorn is really long term planning, long term energy. So, what kind of legacy, what kind of future do we want to leave for future generations? So, this coming together, this point of Saturn and Pluto coming together will happen once. It's going to happen on January 12th, 2020, and that is the seed time. The seed isn't on one day. It takes place around this time period, and it evolves through different phases. But this seed time is really this time when we're choosing what is it we want to be going forward, and what do we want to create, and what do we want to put our hard work and choice into. So think about what is important to you, what you're going to be choosing, and set that intention. Intention is a powerful thing. When you choose the energy that you want to align with, it's also going to bring up your stuff. It's going to bring up the ways that doesn't feel comfortable to you, or the ways that you have had to be in survival mode in the past and you couldn't be in this creative space. And so let that stuff come up. It's important to give yourself time and space for healing, for acknowledging your needs and taking care of yourself, and also being clear that here's the intention, here's what I want to do, here's what I want to put my energy into. And again, this is for the big picture of what we want to create, what kind of world we want to live in, but it's also for the here and now of your everyday life. And your everyday life is your own version of what it's your piece of the bigger puzzle. So how do you want to create your life? How do you want to be cared for? How do you want to embody the energies that you want the world to have and hold for all beings everywhere? How can you do that in your own personal life? How can you treat yourself in the ways that you want others to be treated, and begin to create that from your center so that it can ripple out from there? Really, really powerful time. And as we go through 2020, as I mentioned, we also have Jupiter in Capricorn, and Jupiter is also going to be meeting with Pluto. It's going to form 3 exact conjunctions with Pluto as it moves forward and retrograde and forward again. And so we've got the Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions as well. And again, this transformation is going to be available to us. It's going to be happening whether we like it or not. So we might as well be on board with aligning with a transformation. And again, taking that wheel so that we're steering it in the direction we want it to go. And seeing Jupiter as that bigger picture of our paradigm, our beliefs, how we want to live, who we want to be, and what we want to embody. So we've got Jupiter moving through, and then fun and fascinating tidbit is that Jupiter and Saturn will then be making a conjunction right after both planets go into Aquarius. So through the summer next year, Saturn will be going into Aquarius, and then retrograde back into Capricorn again, and then moving back into Aquarius. And right after Saturn goes into Aquarius, Jupiter will follow, and they will have their conjunction together again. Jupiter and Saturn come together about every 20 years. So we'll have that happening as well next year. And fascinatingly enough, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. Saturn will be moving into the freedom-loving sign of Aquarius. And so we have this, while we go through this limitation feeling, authoritarian, hard reality that Capricorn brings, we also have Aquarius coming, and Aquarius is on the horizon, and it does bring freedom. It brings a vision for the future. It brings new paradigms, new ways of thinking, new possibilities. It helps us shift into a higher level of thinking, that higher consciousness where problems can actually be solved and innovative thinking takes place. So we have that to look forward to. Really important as we go through these alignments in 2020 that we are choosing on purpose who we want to be, what it is we want to vote for, you know, literally and metaphorically, where we want to put our energy, what we want to invest in. And so that's coming. As I mentioned, next week's video, I'm going to be talking about a particular part of your chart that's going to help you understand what your path is and how to move forward and do your own healing work to align with these changes in a really powerful way. And so I'll have a chart that you can look up your own birthday and find your lunar nodes, and you're going to be learning about that. So that'll be really cool. Check out my videos coming out next week. And again, go to astrologyheals.com and sign up for my email newsletter, and you'll get links to all of these videos. This is video 6. We're going to have a total of 10, all coming out on Thursdays between early November and heading into January of 2020 as we move into this powerful conjunction. So, look for my videos on Astrology Heals Facebook page. Look for them on Astrology Heals YouTube channel. Same videos, just different places to find them. And again, go to astrologyheals.com and enter your email to receive links in, and I'll send you emails with updates to all the videos that you've missed, all the videos that are to come, and I don't want you to miss anything. So be sure to check us out next week and watch for the piece about your own lunar nodes and your own chart. And stay tuned. We're heading into really exciting times. So I'll see you next time. Take care.